All right, let's talk about chiropractic marketing for serious practice growth. If you're a chiropractor and you want more patients, you want to grow your practice, I want to show you the model in this video that's going to help you do that. Hey, Yuri Elkaim here, founder and CEO of Healthpreneur. We help health practitioners fill and scale their practices, both brick and mortar and virtual, by working smarter, not harder. And in this video, I am going to show you what I mean by that. So if you're watching this video, you're most likely a chiropractor and you want to get more patients, you want to grow your practice. And I want to show you the model through which, or the lens through which we want to look at this. So this is a very simple Venn diagram, but it's what's inside that really counts. Because if you're here, it's most likely that you want to leave a really positive impact on this planet, right? And I'm going to come back to this in a second, but really there's three core pillars that any business needs to have dialed in order to achieve some really great results. Number one is we have the profit pillar. This is all about the sales and marketing. This is all about getting people coming in. This is all about converting prospects into paying patients and keeping those patients for as long as possible while improving their outcomes. The second pillar is the people pillar, and this is all about your team, operational systems, etc. So you can build a practice that doesn't rely on you 100%, and you can actually step away from and take a week off if you wanted to without any negative things happening to the business, i.e. your revenue plummeting. So that's the second pillar. And the third pillar is the products. This is the actual service, the delivery of what it is you do. And here is all about how do we improve patient care? How do we improve patient outcomes? How do we do so in such a way that it doesn't necessarily require you for everything? And again, how do we keep patients longer and having them happily refer others to the business? These are the three core pillars of what we call a profitable practice. In this video, I want to quickly walk you through three accelerators right here for the profit side of things. And so what we're going to look at, and specifically what you need to have in your business, is number one, you need to have some way of flooding your pipeline. And that means you need a way, that was awkward. You need a way to have a predictable flow of prospects and patients coming in that is going to supply the revenue stream or the patient flow that you need in your business. The second component is we need to nurture these leads. We need to nurture people with the understanding that not everyone's going to say yes right away, but that doesn't mean they're not going to say yes at some point. So the biggest opportunity you have in your business, whether or not you know it, are the people on your email list, or the people that have called into the clinic, or the people that have booked an appointment that didn't lead anywhere. These are very warm prospects that if you continue building a relationship with them can yield amazing results for you as well as for them. And the third component is enrolling patients. These are the conversations, whether it's on the phone or in person. How do you take someone from an initial consult, an initial exam, for instance, and have them willingly give you money for you to help transform their health, their body, their problem, and doing so in such a way that it's not just like come in whenever you want. Like you're actually laying out what we call a prescription plan that is thought out, that's a little bit longer term, that's a benefit to you financially, but only because it's helping those patients achieve a better outcome. I'm not going to get into that here, but what I do want to focus on a little bit more of here is the flooding pipeline side of things, because this is one of the biggest things that chiropractors and other practitioners come to us with is I want a more consistent and predictable flow of leads and patients, because right now it's word of mouth, which is okay, but I can't rely on that, or walk-ins. But again, you can't rely on that, right? So let's talk about a couple things that we need to dial in right here. Now, this is not the Audi symbol, although it looks like the Audi logo. These are 5 steps that need to be in place to really start to orchestrate the level of patient flow that you want in your business. The first thing is, and this is going to sound odd, is I want to encourage you to identify a single target market. That's a single target market. I know you can do a lot of things, and I know you can help a lot of people. But if you only had to choose one, if you only had to choose one pain or problem that you could help people solve better than anything else, what would that be? And if you really think about this, the reason this is so important is because as soon as you want a more predictable flow of patients instead of a trickle, you need to proactively market your business. And that's very challenging to do if you're trying to speak to everyone. We all know that specialists make more money than generalists, right? Brain surgeon makes more money than a general practitioner. Why? Because they're the best in the business at neurosurgery. You want to become the best in the business, the class of, or the category of one in a specific area. My chiropractor just so happens to be a dog chiropractor as well. And so I was initially took my dogs to see him, and just so happened I was able to get an adjustment while my dogs did as well. And I thought that was a really, really cool way of positioning their practice. So they're kind of like the dog chiropractor in our area. And that's really important. And yes, you're going to alienate people, but you're going to attract the right people to your practice because they feel that you are the best fit for them, because they feel that you're speaking their language to their problems as opposed to trying to address everyone. So single target market is important. The next piece is the NPO. So this is what we call the new patient offer. Most people who don't know you don't trust you, right? And the number one thing we need to establish in business for people to do business with us is know, like, and trust. And there's no better way of helping somebody make a decision about working with you than by giving them something that is all them, little you. What I mean by that is there's no risk on their part. You're taking on the risk. And what that means is usually you charge, chiropractors might charge, $49 for an initial assessment, $150 for initial consult, stuff like that. Totally fine. And I'm not suggesting that you don't have to do that, but you'll get a much higher take rate if you make it more accessible. Now that could be a lower price point. It could be free. It could be, whatever way, shape, or form to get people in such a way that it's going to be a lot easier for them to say yes. Because if someone doesn't know you, they're much less likely to fork out $150 to see you that first time. But if you can get them in the door, I'm sure you understand the power of getting people in the door. In our experience, having helped thousands of practitioners, they know they just need to get people in the door, because once they're in the door, 70% or more of them will say yes to ongoing sessions or treatments. And so that new patient offer is extremely important to get dialed in properly. And it's tough to make a new patient offer if you're helping everyone. But if you're helping people specifically with back pain, then you might have an initial 15-minute spinal analysis, as an example, that people can come into. They can book in for free. You can have a conversation with them about what the next steps are going to look like. And now the likelihood of them working with you is a lot greater because they just walked in the door. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So that is, we talked about single target market, which leads naturally into your new patient offer, right? So the next thing we need to think about is, what is the core offer? So once that individual has come in, they've had their new patient offer, that's, that free analysis, that initial appointment, how do we get them to stay on for longer now? Because we all know no one's going to get better after that initial exam or initial assessment or treatment. So we need to lay out a plan that is not in the benefit of you making more money, but it's in the benefit of them getting the outcome. Because I think we all know that no one gets better after one adjustment. Like, sure, they might feel better, but they're not achieving the outcome after one adjustment. So we know that they have to come in multiple times over the next couple of weeks or months, and that is what we need to sell as the core offer. One of the biggest challenges we all face as practitioners is, I do not like chasing people down to come back in for their next appointment. So why do that? And instead sell them into what we call a prescription plan, which is a longer term commitment, if you will, where they're going to come in X number of times, you're going to provide, this level of service, and they're going to get this outcome. Way more effective for them. Most importantly, it's for the patient to get better results. Second, it's better for you. So if you can charge up front for 8 or 12 weeks of rendered services in the future, then that's better for your business because you're making more money, you're making it up front, and the patient is now committed to a treatment plan that they're going to commit to and get better results from. Okay? So that's the third piece. Fourth is we want to re-engage your email list. Now, I don't know if you have an email list, but if you do, it's a huge asset sitting underneath your nose. I call this acres of diamonds because it literally is. If you have a couple hundred or a few thousand people on your email list, I promise you they're not all patients. And what that means is we need to have a communication cadence with them that's going to provide value, that's going to get in front of them, and that you can remind them, hey, come into the clinic for this new thing, or come in this week, we're doing this thing, or we have a live workshop happening next Saturday, we'd love to have you come in. Re-engaging your email list is massively, massively important and one of the biggest opportunities you have, maybe without even knowing it. And then finally, we need to systemize the marketing. And what I mean by that is we talked about flooding your pipeline earlier, right? Flooding your pipeline with a consistent flow of patients and leads, obviously. And we need to systemize that. This is not about you manually knocking on people's doors or going around the city giving seminars all over the place. This is about you having a system that's built once, that works for you 24/7, that you don't have to do anything to, minus a couple of check-ins to make sure everything's working every now and then. This is the key to freeing yourself in your business, where you know consistently that this thing is running on your behalf every single day of the week, every day of the month, every week of the year, and it's bringing people in consistently. That is, I think, something most businesses would like. And these are the 5 core pieces that we need to have dialed in if you want to have a really well-oiled marketing machine in your business. Now, obviously, there is a lot of important nuances in each one of these 5 that I can't get into for the sake of time in this video. But if you are interested in this and you'd like to go deeper on this material, then what I'd recommend you do is watch the free training that we have called the Profitable Practice Method. There's a link to it below this video. Watch it today. It'll go deeper into these areas and give you a much better understanding of how you can improve your marketing, how you can get in front of your ideal patients on a consistent basis. And if you like what you see, by all means, book a call with us. We offer a free consult called a Practice Growth Session. And this is our opportunity to see where you are, where you want to go, what's standing in your way, and really piece together a proven game plan for your specific situation. So you don't have to do 1,000 things. You can have one strategy, one game plan that's going to make the most sense for your situation. So again, if you'd like to go deeper on understanding the marketing, how you can employ these types of systems and strategies into your business, then I'd recommend taking the next step, which is to watch our Profitable Practice Method training. The link for that is below. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for your attention and your time. I'm Yuri Elkaim signing off. I'll see you soon.